Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 2, Watanagashi. So last time, Keiichi and Shion had a really nice talk at Angel Mort, right? And we also saw some tips last time with the delinquents and Oishi-san dealing with them. That was pretty good. So yeah, let's load this one. So chapter 5 I suppose, today. I knew he wouldn't be doing any club activities after school today before Mion even said anything. I'd been invited over by Shion for an all-you-can-eat dessert. Yes, we have a all-you-can-eat buffet today, right? Oh, but dessert. I made a point of leaving half my lunch uneaten. My expectations would only be rivaled by my hunger. Dude, if you're going to an all-out anything, yeah, don't eat.
なんだか嬉しそうだね。いいことあるのかな
Oh, can we bring Rena with us, by the way? So she can see Shion, I guess? I guess it was obvious. Ren had questioned me with a happy look. That's right, why don't I invite Rena for dessert as well? No, if I recall correctly, Shion said something about having a ticket. Yeah, and we only have, I guess, one, right? At worst, the restaurant might be admission by ticket only today. If that was the case, then having Rena be turned away at the door would result in the worst feeling ever. True though, true.
ちょっとしたラッキーでさ。明日報告してやるよ。レナ、きっと羨ましがるぜ。
She's blushing yet again. She's gonna follow Keiichi. If Keiichi doesn't let her come with him, she's gonna follow him.
いいのそのラッキーって可愛いかな
Is it cute? Cute? Oh, I wonder what Rena would think of the uniforms at Angel Mort. They'd definitely be a critical hit.
多分かなり可愛いかも。
Here comes Mion.
どんな幸運に恵まれたのやら。あれ？ひょっとして2月くらい前にエンジェルモートで三角くじとか引いた？それに当たった？
おいおい、俺は2月前にはまだ転校してきてないぞ。
ああ、そっか。じゃあエンジェルのデザートフェスタでもないし。み
ーちゃん、エンジェルのデザートフェスタって何かな？
ほら、沖宮の駅前の正面にエンジェルモートっていうファミレスがあるじゃない？
Yes.
あそこではね、季節の変わり目に新デザートのお披露目イベントをやるんだよ。それが今日でね。あ、言っても無駄だよ。くじ当選者以外は入店できない貸し切りデーだから。
Mion explained once again what Shion explained to me last night.
レナも今度からお店に通ってみよう。頑張ってくじを当てて次のデザート食べ放題を狙うの。
頑張れ。ちなみに聞いた話だと、当選くじはマニア垂涎のプラチナチケットで闇では高値で取引されてるなんて噂が。
Okay, here we go. Rena is gonna be coming with us today. Hearing that story, I felt even more appreciative of the ticket that Shion had procured for me. I just thought I was lucky to be able to eat a dessert for free, but it turned out that the ticket was much more valuable. The number of things I had to thank Shion for had increased again.
ありがとな。そんなに価値があるものなんて俺全然知らなくて。
I whispered in a voice only Mion could hear. That was how I conveyed my feelings. Mion looked at me for a moment before she tilted her head to the side and smiled confusedly.
何？なんか言った？
It would be a problem if you said something to me right now. That smile seemed to be telling me as much. I guess Mion would be accepting any gratitude while she was a Mion. I'll go to the restaurant. Today I'll take Mion while she's Shion.
じゃ、お おじさんはこの辺で失礼するわ。
Oh, she called herself old man. It is Mion.
今日のバイトはちょっとハードなんだよな。じゃあね。
It's been a while since she called herself old man, right? Mion waved her hand energetically as she left.
ねえケイチくん、なんだかみーちゃん最近変なの。浮かれてるっていうか嬉しそうっていうか。
Yeah, Mion is gonna go to the restaurant now so she can prepare.
そうなのか？
Rena was pretty sharp when it came to these type of things. To me, Mion seemed the same as always, but Rena apparently felt something different.
ケイチくんは知らないのかな。てっきり知ってるのかなって思って。
Rena's skirt fluttered as she spun around with a coy smile.
知ってるって俺が何を？
I was obviously weaseling my way out of the question, but I wasn't lying. Honestly, I didn't really know what was going on. Why did Shion, or persona of Mion that she created, appear before me? Something was blatantly up, but Rena paid it no heed.
そっか。じゃあ何なんだろうね。でもみーちゃんが機嫌いいとレナも嬉しいよ。はう。
Saying that, she spread her arms wide and spun around happily. I didn't know why, but Rena was in a really good mood today. It was so infectious that I had to smile too. Like, look at this. Rena is so nice when she's like this, but when she becomes the other Rena, Usuda! She's so scary, right? Even the chirping of the cicadas seemed joyful.
でもね。
Rena abruptly stopped spinning. Her expression had returned to a more somber one.
みーちゃんね。つい最近ね。すごく傷つけられたの。
What? What do you mean a lot of pain?
傷つけって
The pain that Rena was talking about probably wasn't physical.
はじめはあまり気にしてないふりをしてたけど、怪我と同じ。だんだん腫れてきた。じんじん腫れてきた。とうとう痛みがこらえられなくなって、夜中に目を覚ました。そして、レナに電話してきたの。みーちゃんは泣いてた。
ごめん。それ、何の話だよ。
何の話？レナは今、何か話をしてたのかな？
What is wrong with you, man? You were saying things about Mion crying. Now you don't know?
おい、そんなとぼけ方するなよ。今、レナは。
知らない。
Okay.
レナは何も知らないよ。
Why even tell that to us in the first place then? You're not gonna say anything. Rena spun as she laughed innocently. Eventually, she appeared to get sick, stumbling as she steadied herself with her hand against the wall.
目が回って。
バカだな。調子に乗ってぐるぐる回ってるからだよ。
ごめん。気持ち悪いかも。
I lended Ditz a shoulder to lean on. To be stumbling around like a newborn fowl at this age is actually quite a feat. Rena, in a good mood, only babbled incoherently after that. I laughed as I responded and chided her. However, the chance to revisit that heavy topic Ren had brought up before never arrived. Okay. So it's like a very, very short story. And then we're gonna go to Angel Mort now. Oh, we're back home first. As soon as I got home, I tossed aside my school bag and changed in a hurry. The effects of having a light lunch were starting to show, as my stomach began to let out a fickle growls. Alright, let's go to Angel Mort. It's time to face the land of endless desert. Preparations for the battle are complete. Tally ho! Angel Mort had a decidedly different feel to it compared to yesterday. Dessert festa today. Admittance by reservation only. Nonetheless, the front of the store was being swarmed by over a dozen young men. Judging by how they were looking upwards in jealousy, instead of entering the store, they weren't invitees. Why would they gather here if they knew they couldn't get in? I found out the answer when I passed through the crowd and began to climb the steps to enter the restaurant.
あんた当選者なのか？チケットを持ってるのか？
ああまあな
Okay, this guy's gonna try to bite from Keiichi. Let's see.
ラッキーだったんだ
As soon as I said that, I was immediately mobbed. It was like being in the middle of a football scrum on a crowded train. What is going on? The reason was this. It wasn't just one ticket per person. One could let up to 4 people inside. Okay, so we can... 4 people, so he's gonna invite Rena, Satoko, and Rika.
そうだったのか
Okay, so it's like that.
ますますレナや他のみんなを誘ってやるべきだった親切にありがとうでも今の話は聞かなかったことにするよ
With an uplifting smile, I turned and ignored him. When I did, their arms all reached out at once like the souls of the damned seeking sucker.
その4名様までのお供にぜひ俺たちを
Otaku. What selfish people. This was the only reason they were crowded in front of the restaurant. Dozens of wretched arms reached out for me like the teeth on a giant rake and grasped at the air. I was already climbing the stairs to the entrance.
なんて身軽なやつ取り押さえろ
This isn't something to joke about. I flew up the rest of the stairs and threw myself inside the restaurant. It was like I had entered a different world. The miserable tongue of the damned hurled curses at me from the other side of the glass door. But inside of this completely soundproofed and air-conditioned restaurant, with the angelic smile of the waitress to welcome me, they were nothing more than a refreshing piece of scenery. I knew that I shouldn't laugh, but I began to let out a sinister cackle.
いらっしゃいませ。エンジェルモートへようこそいらっしゃいました。本日はデザートフェスタにつきチケットのお客様のみの貸し切りになっております。チケットとご方面をお伺いしてもよろしいでしょうか。
But he still doesn't have the ticket though, right? It's with Shion.
チケットはないけど名簿に名前があると思います前原です
前原あった失礼ですがフルネームでお伺いしてよろしいですか。
圭一です前原圭一
大変失礼いたしました。特別招待の前原圭一様ですね。お席へご案内いたします。どうぞこちらへ。
The mood inside the room was incredibly heated. The booths were packed to the brim. Men in their prime were stuffing their faces with dainty desserts that didn't suit them at all. It was a rather unnerving spectacle. Soon after I was shown to my seat, Shion arrived.
いらっしゃいませ。ようこそエンジェルモートへ。
よしよ今日は本当にありがとうな世話になりに来たぜ
ちょっと遅かったから心配しました。でも来てくれて嬉しいです。
It may have been because the other customers were around that her tone was less casual, but she still capped off that welcome with her usual brilliant smile.
見ての通り今日はお客さんがすっごいんで定時に抜けさせてもらえるかちょっと自信がないんです。私の仕事が終わるまでのんびりしててくださいね。終わったら一緒に遊びに行きましょうね。
Whispering just that last part into my ear, Shion winked and returned to the kitchen. Maybe it was because the mood in the restaurant was so heated, but Shion seemed a bit bolder. Even a small change in her mannerisms was enough to set my heart aflutter.
お待たせしました。
While I was overwhelmed by the atmosphere inside the restaurant, orders from the new summer menu were carried out one after the other. Every single one was extravagantly huge. I mean, it's eat all you can, right? So yeah, they're just gonna give you one big thing so you can get full instantly. I get it, you can eat all these amazing things for free. No wonder a ticket was worth its weight in gold. On top of that, all of it was plenty delicious. From dishes with a general appeal to insane ones aimed at a specific audience, there were absolutely no gaps in their repertoire.
どう考えても一人で食う量じゃないかもしれないな。まあそれは置いておいて。
It didn't feel relaxing in here at all. Probably because the fervor inside the restaurant was clearly abnormal. All the other booths' seats were crammed with groups of 4. Sleazy men were gorging like pigs on cutely decorated desserts, and it wouldn't have been a surprise if they started licking the plates. It was more than a little unsettling. It piqued my interest, so I started listening in on their conversation and what things I heard.
Angel mode moe.
I mean, I guess the otaku guys got in, right?
僕ですか。当選チケットは秘密ルートから7万で購入したっつ。
70,000? Are you serious?
職場には親戚の葬式だと言ったにゃりよ。エンジェルは制服が最高にゃり。
ウェイトレスさん、水とかズボンにこぼしてフキフキとかしてくれないかにゃ。
Come on, man.
にゃにゃ。
エンジェルモートのフィギュアが今度発売されるらしいでござるな。
Angel Mort figures.
次のイベントは要注意でござる。
そうそう、今度大手フィギュアメーカーが商品化を決めたそうであります。発売日は要チェックなのであります。
しかし大人買いするには種類が多すぎるのでごわすな。普通のファミレス制服のフィギュアなら10種類程度でごわすのに、今度のはシークレットポーズ差分込みでざっと100種類。
ダブった時は誰かトレードしてもらいたいでおじゃる。ファンとしては即日コントは義務。いや、君と僕とのディスティニーでおじゃるよ。
The words spilling out of their mouths were pretty much all incomprehensible jargon. But they still keenly conveyed that hidden behind them was an invisible aura of abnormality.
お待たせしました。次のデザートは南国風シナモンのアバンチュールでございます。
What is that name?
どうかなさいましたか？
あ、いえ。なんかこう今日の店内は雰囲気が違うなと。
うちのお店、その道の方々にはかなり有名らしいんです。まあそういう狙いのお店ですからいいんですけどね。でもイベントの日のお客様はちょっと濃いめの方が多いんで困っちゃいます。
The waitress informed me quietly with a wary
な
smile.
んかお客の人たちも血走っててハイエナみたいですよね。今日のお客さんのほとんどはかなり遠方から無理してきてるみたいですからね。そういう方々ってハメを外しやすいんでちょっと怖いんです。ちゃんとガードを固めておかないと大変なんですから。
What did you mean by keep your guard up? What the hell was that? At that moment, a large crash resounded through the room. I turned around startled, so to see that a waitress had fallen down and spilled the order she was carrying right onto a customer. Wait, isn't that Shion?
すみませんでした。そのお召し物は
なんてことするにゃり。某ジーンズ専門店で1800円もしたズボンが生クリームでベトベトにゃりよ。
What the hell is that? For somebody who just met with a disaster, he seems awfully happy. He's happy because it fell on its pants.
これはひどいですにょ。
And he's gonna say, "Can you clean it for me?"
ウェイトレスさんが誠心誠意フキするしかないでござるにょ。
See? The conversation suddenly veered off in an odd direction. Hey, what did he say? Wipey didn't want Shion to wipe him down? Right over that, obviously a barren tin he had pitched over his crotch.
その
ふきふきふきふきふきふき
The wipey wipey chant quickly spread out through the room. Totally cornered, Shion went pale. She looked over to a more experienced waitress for help, but she was only met with a head shaking out of pity.
園崎さん、足を引っ掛けられたんですね。
Okay, so it was deliberate. They wanted that to
ああやっ
happen.
てわざと衣服を汚させて絡んでくるお客が最近多いんですよ。
足を引っ掛けてだって？じゃあ今のあれも事故じゃなくて恋？
メインの女の子は十分気をつけてますから絶対ああはならないんですけど、園崎さんは短期バイトだからまだガードが甘くて、今日のお客様たちにも早々に見破られちゃったみたいで、朝からあんな感じで絡まれてるんです。
店長とかは何やってんだよ。
Yeah, isn't the manager her uncle?
あんな不良な客は追い出せよ。
We're in the service industry, so there's not much we can do about it. She laughed as she said that in a resigned tone. What? I mean, can't you stick up for your employees like this? They're literally trying to do yeah, we call it harassing her basically. She trembled uncontrollably with a dishcloth in her hands as she turned bright red. Not harassing, but yeah, they tripped her so she would spill all of these desserts on the guy. The man who had been doused in frostings played out on the bench, putting the cream-covered tent over his crotch on full display. Still mentally unprepared, her trembling hand inched forward, goaded on by onlookers.
さあさあさあ、ふきふきするでござるよ。
From my male point of view, it might have been a ridiculous spectacle I could just smile wearily at, but from a woman's point of view, this was obviously pure humiliation. True. Oh, what is happening? When I was trapped by those thugs and had been paralyzed with fear, oh, Shion stood up to them and saved me. Okay, this is Keiichi's comeback now. He needs to save Shion. Still, as humiliating as it was, Shion was also partly blamed for this. And it wasn't as though her life was at stake, right? Even these guys, they were just going to jeer at her in a bit of a lewd situation. It's not like they were going to eat Shion alive or anything. It'd be alright if I just consoled her afterwards.
私だって怖かったですよ。でも他ならぬケイちゃんのピンチだし、勇気出して頑張りましたってことです。
When I, a man, was being assailed by 3 thugs while being paralyzed with fear, Shion saved me without a second thought. What about now? These sleazy, filthy degens were trying to pin the blame on Shion. This time, our roles were reversed. Hey Keiichi Maibara, if you don't save her now, when will you be able to repay the debt you owe her? Are you scared, Keiichi Maibara? At the time, Shion, no Mion, didn't even show a hint of hesitation. True. Then what about now? I'm not hesitating. Then what? If you're not hesitating, then why aren't you helping her? Go Keiichi.
さあ、観念するでござる。フォフォフォ。
やかましいぞ重量オーバー。俺の目が黒いうちに出て失せろ。
I grasped at Shion's shoulder firmly and pulled her behind me.
ケイちゃん。
そのスタッフが世のオズボンに粗相したのでござるよ。
お仕置きが必要なのはてめえの方だ。男なら能書き吐くな。腕で物を言ってみろ。
Smash! My body was lifted into the air like nothing. I was thrown right back into my own seat. This guy is strong? No matter how you look at it, athletic and this Lardo aren't in the same area code.
オタクは意外にマイナーな武道を得得していることが多いでござるから甘く見ると大変でござるよ。
The man smirked, showing off his gum line.
ケイちゃん、大丈夫？
And now, Shion is gonna help. Damn it, how lame must I look right now?
シオンは足を引っ掛けられたんだろう。向こうが悪いんだから突き上がらせることなんかないぞ。
そうだけど、でもやっぱり悪いのは私だし。
もう一度だ。行くぞー。これくらいでへこたれる圭一様だと思うなよ。もう一度だ。
お口ほどにもないでござるの。
まだまだ。
Rise, my will to fight. Not just running, I planted every one of my steps firmly as I closed the distance to the lard ball. Each time I ripped my foot off the floor, I could feel my burning spirit flare up from the point of impact. Well, everything slowed down like I was walking underwater. As I stepped forward in the viscous flow of time, I calmly measured the gap between us. With our difference in height, or reach was my ultimate advantage. There was an ever so tiny distance between us where only my punch would be able to reach. I unleashed my iron fist of righteous anger, but it flew towards his face slowly like I was punching underwater. Reacting to that, with a smirk on his face, the fat so easily slipped inside of my punch. I hadn't realized it until now, but in the mired time, I was able to observe his baffling counterattack with almost painful clarity. His arm slowly swung around in a large windmill motion. I wrapped around my whiffed punch and descended in an arc. That arm swung around like the arms of a clock and came into contact with my head, twisting my upper body around. Dragging my head along, he followed through with another rotation. This time he rotated his entire body like a top, followed by another rotation. Combining defense and offense, it was a brilliant counter. That's right, 3 times I was thrown after 3 rotations, I think. In this viscous region of time, I was able to struggle and I could only wait dumbstruck until the moment I was thrown. The moment I was, that sluggish temporal anomaly abruptly ended. Crash.
修行が足りないでござるよ。ヤングメン。
I was loath to admit it, but against somebody trained in martial arts, I couldn't win through force of will alone. Nikichi went here for dessert. Now he's fighting OTAKUS and he's losing. After my consciousness faded in a wave of dizziness, when I came to, I was lying down in my own seat.
怪我しなくてよかったですね。
The more experienced waitress from before wiped the sweat from my brow with a towel. While she was doing that, a red-faced and teary-eyed Shion trudged over.
大丈夫ですか？私なんかのためにすみませんでした。
俺こそ役に立たなくてすまん。俺喧嘩って勝ったことないし。
私のために助けに来てくれただけで嬉しかったです。本当ですよ。それだけでも今日はケイちゃんに来てもらえてよかったかなって。
As she said that, she stuck her tongue out teasingly. She wiped off the whipped cream with the washcloth she was holding in her hands.
園崎さん、R 入ってもいいですよ。あと 1,2 時間でしょ。いいんです。バイトとはいえお給料もらってる身ですから、時間内はちゃんと働きたいんです。だから本当お気遣いなく。
She couldn't even put up a brave front. I would never even think for a second that Mion could be that weak. This was Shion, and she had been harassed by some unreasonable riffraff. That was reality.
ケイちゃんは気にしないで、 デザートいっぱい食べててくださいね。一通り食べ終わったらアンケートを書いてもらいますので。じゃあ私ホールに戻りますね。
After some consoling words and a sympathetic smile to Shion, the other waitresses started to head back to work. That's where I stopped her.
すいません、ウェイトレスさん。電話借りたいんですけど。
電話ですか？レジ横にございますよ。ご案内いたします。
I pulled a 10 yen coin from my wallet. This wasn't about saving face. My being a worthless coward was an unchangeable fact, but I could just cry myself to sleep about that later tonight. Now was not the time for tears. I had to fight.
確かチケット1枚で4人まで OK なんですよね。
Oh, he's gonna call his friends. He's gonna call Rena, Rika, and
あと
Satoko.
3人呼んでもいいんですよね。
ええ、そうですけど、一応名簿に書きますので、お名前を伺ってもよろしいですか？
I turned around and glared at the greasy hooligan who subjected Shion to that humiliation. Okay, I can't wait for Rena to be here though. There are 3 things that aren't working in your favor today, punk. The first is that I owe Shion. Second is that I'm a man who's not afraid to throw away his pride to win. And the third is that we're the most powerful club members in history.
名簿には竜宮レナ、それから北条聡子、フルで理科で。
かしこまりました。受けたまわります。
I'll have the best and most powerful club members join the fray. They can bring down 1,000 foes. You fat asses. Prepare to meet your maker. Oh, she's here.
いいお店だね。はあ、制服かわいい。レナも着たい。はう。しかもデザートまでおごってもらえるなんて僕は大感激なのです。
ああ、好きなだけ食ってくれ。俺の分なんか気にするな。
ケイチさん、茶番は結構でございますのよ。
Satoko is like, why did you invite me?
要件に入ってほしいですわ。
Rena and Rika-chan put their forks when Satoko broached the subject. After looking at them for a few moments, I pressed my forehead firmly into the table.
頼む。俺の不甲斐なさを笑ってもいい。力を貸してくれ。
The 3 of them seemed surprised by the sudden turn of events, but nevertheless listened to what I had to say without making fun of my unusual behavior.
どうしたのかな。何があったんだろう、太郎。
実はミオンの妹のシオンがこの店でバイト中なんだ。
ああ、話に聞いてたみーちゃんの妹さんだね。ひょっとしてあれかな、あれかな。似てるね、似てるね。似てるも何も髪を下ろしただけの本人ではありませんの。
See, even Satoko is saying it. It's just Mia with her hair down. I didn't know what to say.
ケイイチがシオンだと言うからシオンなのですよ。いくら双子だってあんなにうり二つになるもんなんですの。
I mean, yeah.
一卵性ソーセージって言ってね、
Monozygotic?
本当にそっくりの双子ってこともあるんだって。
Rena gave the most plausible explanation, so everybody else was convinced.
納得してもらえたかな。それで本題だ。
I recounted everything that had just happened. How Shion was targeted, how she was antagonized by the customers, and the humiliation that was forced upon her. Also how incredible pathetic I was. I included everything without trying to hide it.
それはひどいね。しーちゃんかわいそう。
She-chan. Me-chan, now She-chan.
しかしそれを助けられないなんてみっともないにも程がありますわよ。
There should be a limit to how unsightly you can be.
それについては返す言葉がない。
さとこちゃん、 負けを認めて助けを求めるのってとっても難しいことなの。圭一くんは変なプライドなんかよりしーちゃんを助けることを選んだんだよ。ふん、情けないですこと。
Rena's follow-up stung a bit, but I could only be thankful that she understood. Sadako was calling me all sorts of names, but there was no malign intentions behind her words.
で、僕たちは何をするですか?
Her voice was monotone, but there was a hint of resolve in her words. I replied to Rika-chan's suggestive silence in kind with my own quiet resolve.
まあ、そんなところだと思ってましたわ。圭一さん一人には少々荷が重すぎますもの。
じゃあ助けてくれるのか？
当然だよ、圭一くん。私たちは誰がいじめられても助けに行くよ。
I remembered when I was cornered by those thugs what Shion had said about the strong feelings of solidarity in Hinamizawa really began to hit home. However, Keiichi Maibara, now is not the time to get choked up in tears or with tears of gratitude. Now is the time to fight.
すまん、恩に切る。
一人で頑張ったけど、歯が立たなくてかわいそかわいそです。
Oh, sad. Rika-chan gently pat my head for me. But there was no mindless pity in the palm of that hand. It was overflowing with a strong, dependable feeling of, leave the rest to us.
もろもろの都合によりミオンは参戦できないので臨時に俺が指揮を執る。作戦内容はシオンの護衛と敵勢力の殲滅。
敵って誰かな？いっぱいいるのかな？
現時刻以降シオンにちょっかいを出そうとする全個人全勢力を敵と認める。当選規定はなし。報酬は今食ったデザート。質問はあるか？
Everybody had already entered club mode, their eyes peering at the riffraff, clamoring around inside the restaurant like predators stalking their prey from the darkness. Rika-chan held up her
なん
hand.
だい、リカちゃん。
手加減は必要ですか？
It's over.
不要に決まってますわ。ミオさんの妹に狼藉を働く輩に手加減なんか不要ですの。いいんですね、ケイチ。
Rika-chan was serious. She was really ready to pretty much murder someone. I'm counting on you,
全
Rika-chan.
責任は俺、前原圭一が取る。蹴散らしてやれ。
よーし、レナも頑張るぞ。
すまん、よろしく頼む。
ケイチさん、そんなに力まなくても大丈夫ですのよ。まあご覧あそばせ。ケイチさんがそのパフェを食べ終わる頃にはお掃除は終わってましたよ。ではみんな頑張りましょうですよ。ファイトオーです。
Thus, the most powerful warband the world had ever known, trained by Mion, began to move. I was the oldest, the only boy, and behaved like a leader, but when you consider club activities, I was by far the most junior member. Individually, besides me, had terrifying combat capabilities. If all of them combined their strength to protect Shion, I couldn't even imagine. I was probably about to witness something terrible and awe-inspiring.
園崎さん、7番テーブルにデラックスパフェを5つお願いします。
5.
はい。
Shion carried the order to the tables. For Shion to carry all 5 parfait without wobbling took so much effort that she didn't have the breathing room to pay attention to her feet.
くっくっくどうしようまた来たでござるよ
Okay, here comes the otakus again.
今度はミーのおズボンにぶっかけさせて一層念入りにふきふきしてもらうにより。
It was the same wipey scheme that occurred just a short time earlier. This time, another one of them was trying it out for himself. The very depravity of these men was itself a full-out attack.
圭一よりレナへ。 56番テーブル付近で待ち伏せだ。レナ、聞こえてるか？
お店の制服かわいいね。はう、お持ち帰り。
She's distracted. Shion, her bottom swaying while carrying the parfaits, was being chased by an equally swaying Rena. She was supposed to be escorting Shion, but Rena was instead transfixed by the back of her uniform. From a normal person's point of view, it's probably like having a fox guard a henhouse. But when it comes to Rena, things are different.
怪異状態、シンクロ率 120%。 勝ったな。
We've won.
あの状態のレナさんには地球上のどんな物理法則も通用しませんわ。
Shion's leg and steady and defenseless were being targeted by those sleazebags.
今でござるよ、同志諸君。
世界の輝ける明星にして偉大なる総統閣下万歳。
A leg snaked out to trip Shion's defenseless feet. A gods. What do you mean a gods? A gods? 3 of them at once.
もう本当。
It happened in an instant. The 3 fools were right in pain as their legs bent at unnatural angles.
これは何事でござるか？
Rena tittered into view and gave them a warning.
おいたはダメなんだよ。目だよ、
No means no, boys.
目。レナがお持ち帰りするから目。
この小娘、神妙な技を。
The human scum clutched at their bruised ankles as they passed out.
さすがはレナさん。いつ見ても恐ろしいキレですわね。
ああ、絶対的なガードだ。半径2メートル以内で行われるシオンへのあらゆる攻撃をレナは完全なカウンターで粉砕する。
As Shion was making her rounds through the restaurant, there were people here and they're collapsing with welts on their legs or hands.
はう。レナよりケイチ君へ。もうしーちゃんにちょっかい出す人はいないよ。だからもうお持ち帰り。
ケイチよりレナへ。ご苦労だった。引き続き護衛を続けてくれ。それからお持ち帰りは不可。繰り返す。お持ち帰りは不可。
じゃあ見てるだけだよ、見てるだけ。はう。
I guess just looking is fine. That wouldn't prevent her from guarding Shion, so I guess it's okay. Anyway, thanks to this, I knew who had tried to mess with Shion. Anybody who was clutching at their arm or leg while they were riding in the agony was basically branded by their bruises.
現時刻をもって敵勢力識別を完了。次のフェーズへ移行する。ケイチよりサトコへ。そっちはどうなってる？
さとこですわよ。どうなってるとはひどい言い方でございますわね。ケイチさん、私を誰だと思っておいでですの？
Sazako was in the kitchen. She had spread open a sketch of the restaurant on the counter, replete with ordered sheets and their destinations, and was now sorting through the freshly made desserts.
ちょっと、さっきから何をしてるの？
Honestly, it's chaos now in Angel more.
まあまあ、園崎さ、いいから彼女に任せておいて。それよりもこのオーダー全部一度に行くからお願いね。
The veteran waitress was briskly directing her juniors as the trays went out one after the other. All the desserts that had passed through Satako's hands were delivered at once.
かわいいデザートがいっぱい来たよ。
分かってるだろうが手をつけるなよ。自分の身が大事なら。
わかってるけど。
Certainly, they were all incredibly cute-looking desserts. They were all works of art that you could enjoy before even taking your first bite. However, since Satoko had meddled with them, they were nothing more than an unpredictable danger. Blissfully ignorant of the fact were the men now stuffing their faces. Why, she put some needles in it? Almost right away, they realized that something was wrong.
サトコ、何を混ぜた？塩やタバスコってわけじゃないだろう。
あら、ケイチさんが言ったんですね。手加減無用って。私、こう見えても叩くときは徹底的に叩く性分でございますの。
As she said that, she twirled a dubious file in her fingers before putting it away smartly into her pouch. Why, you put actual poison there?
サトコより理解。お客様が行きますわよ。エスコートお願いしますわ。僕にお任せなのです。
Come to think of it, I didn't see Rika-chan anywhere. Where could she be? Clatter, clatter. Several men stood up suddenly from their seats, surveying their restaurant for something. That restless fidgeting, and that look of relief when they found a single placard hanging from the ceiling. Written on the placard was the restroom. Oh, she put, what do you call that again? Laxatives? Oh, hell no. They began a mad rush in that direction. It wasn't just one or two people. All the people that were branded as the enemy were standing up from their seats while clutching their stomachs.
さすがにくっつきすぎたでござるよ。お手洗いはどこでござるか？
僕もニャリーよ。オープンでなくクローズドの方でござる。今日リプレイ外しニャリー。
おトイレはどこにゃ？見つけたにゃ。緊急発進スクランブルにょ。
I felt dirty just thinking about what Satoko probably did to the desserts. The problem was how to follow this up. I was intrigued, so I followed the rush of men to the washroom. The narrow hallway connecting to the restroom was crammed with about 10 men.
なんとしたことでござるか。
Oh, there are only like 3 stalls though. As I peered over to see what was happening, whoa! It seemed that the toilet was clogged and backflowing, unleashing a loud gurgling sound and a terrible stench. There was no way to use it in this state. Damn that Satoko. What a frightening display of power. No, this wasn't Satoko's doing. It was divine punishment. Yeah, they were just unlucky. I'll just apologetically ask one of the employees here to clean it up.
これでは尿が出せぬでござる。
どうしたものにゃりんか、毎同士。
Comrades. It was a brilliant combination of traps, but it would be better if there were one more to push the kicker. Seeing as it was Satoko, she wouldn't have overlooked that.
こうなっては最後の手段に。
Last resort. Faced with the moral dilemma that only had one other option, women's restroom.
さすがに女子トイレはまずいでござらんか。今日のお客さんに女子はいないニャリン。コロンブスの卵でニャリン。
はあはあ、背に腹は変えられぬ。
What a brazen bunch they are. The men's sweat, now pouring from their brows, made a mad rush to the girls' room without any hesitation. But yeah.
Me?
Was it you who clogged all of this? There was a girl there. It was Rika-chan. The men stood there, frozen in various complicated poses, indicating their surprise. Rika-chan also seemed dumbfounded by the sudden turn of events, but the look on her face was strangely perfect. This was all part of the plan as well. You sly dog, Rika-chan. I should never underestimate you.
これはでござるな。まだ待て。
Me?
男子便所がちょっとデンジャラスにゃのでちょっとおトイレをお借りしたかっただけなのにゃにゃ
みー。
でもやっぱりいけないことでござるよな。どうし諸君。
Just by having a girl stand there in the restroom, I never knew it could put up such an overwhelming barrier. There was no way anybody could be brave enough to leave Rika-chan out of the way to try and do their business. And this was the most they could do after all. If we're a man in a full club mode, for example, someone like me, they would plow through Rika-chan without a second thought. Now, what are you going to do, you fat ass? The price for tormenting Shion still hasn't been paid.
お困りなら僕が助けてあげてもいいのです。
片付けどうござる。してその方法は。
お外のトイレを使えばいいのです。ご案内しますですよ。
それは助かるにゃりん。さあ。
Maybe that thing is stampered as well. Rika did say, no mercy, right?
このままじゃ集団って不根腕状態にゃりん。
Rika-chan, with a pleasant smile on her face, guided them with a casual stride in her step. In this race against time, her slow pace was sadistic torture.
マドマーゼル、そのトイレはここから遠いでござるか。
すぐに着きますです。
Obeying Rika-chan's directions, they were about to leave the restaurant.
ケイチ君、締めだよ。
Finish it,
ビ
Keiichi.
シッと言ってね。
おうよ、任せておけ。
I spread my arms out and blocked them as they tried to leave the restaurant.
何の真似でござるか。このデン君はの非常時に。
悪人ども、この扉から一歩外へ出ることがどういうことになるか分かっ。
それはどういう意味にゃ。
ほら、チケットに書いてあるよ。
Oh, I guess the thing is written on the ticket is... yeah, if you go outside, you cannot come back anymore, right?
途中退店無効って。どこのおトイレに行くのも自由でございますがね。その扉を一歩でも外へ出たなら二度と戻れませんのよ。
Boom!
覚えてろ。
そんな怖いこと言う人たちを案内したくないのです。
Everybody panicked as Rika-chan began to turn back. They could only figuratively and literally fall in line. All the waitresses also lined up to seat him off.
本日はご来店誠にありがとうございました。
I shall return.
Clang, clang. The bell rang playfully as the door shut behind them.
すまないですわね。爆笑の極みでしたよ。
I mean, it's very chaotic, man, in Angel Mort. In Angel Mort.
やったね。
But yeah, they did it. They removed the OTAKUS. Rena and Satoko clapped their hands together.
俺一人じゃ歯が立たねえ連中もメンバー総登場ならまさに一網打尽だな。
この程度の相手なら私たちなら一人でもお相手できましたよ。ケイチさんも少しは腕をお磨き遊ばせ。
I was loath to admit it, but Satoko was right. One day I'll be strong enough to be worthy to stand alongside them.
でもみーちゃんの妹さんを守れて本当に良かったね。もうこれでいたずらする悪い人たちは一人もいなくなったよ。
素敵な友人に恵まれたわね、園崎さん。
The veteran waitress was also smiling. After the herd was sent packing, it had calmed down completely. Inside the restaurant, Shion was flustered as she glanced between us and the now empty seats.
私のためにその
Shion's expression was somewhere between happy and guilt-ridden. Her face had turned slightly red as she ran into the kitchen.
わあ、しーちゃんもかわいい。双子なんだね。はう。
Given Shion's personality, there's no way she'd think this directly. We might have been excessive in our means, but I'm really glad we were able to save her.
分かってると思いますけど、園崎さんとても感謝してますよ。私もホールを代表して感謝いたします。
Clap, clap, clap. The applause quickly spread throughout the entire restaurant. Not only the other waitresses, but also the customers that were genuinely there to enjoy the desserts. Everyone was lauding our efforts. When we had mostly finished eating and were filling out the survey, Rika-chan made her return.
お疲れ。守備は上々か？ずいぶん遅かったな。
ごめんなさいなのです。帰りに迷子になってしまって大変だったのです。リカちゃんは変な道を通ることが多いからね。よく迷子になるんだよ。
How did she get lost just guiding people to a nearby toilet?
人間誰にも得て増えてがありましたよ。リカにはそんなの負けないような長所がたくさんありますわ。
それもそうだな。さっきの女子トイレのあの表情、役者だったな。
あの時の圭一はひどいのです。自分が彼らの立場だったら僕を弾き飛ばして女子トイレに飛び込むとか考えていたのです。
また俺、考えが顔に出てたのか。
圭一くん、エッチなんだ。
What did he say? I didn't understand. Okay.
あ、いや、そら。
I could laugh about it. Then, but a few days later, a newspaper headline read, 10 identified men were taken into custody in Hideyama. The men claimed they had traveled from Shishibone City by foot to find a toilet, but the spot they were taking into custody was XX kilometers away from Shishibone. When I read the article, I realized how terrifying Rika-chan really was. I mean, she did say no mercy.
さてと、ごちそうさまなのでした。今日は呼んでもらえて嬉しかったのです。
She's terrifying.
あら、もう帰りますの？もうちょっとゆっくりしても。タンスのお片付けの途中だったのですよ。あのままではお布団が敷けないのです。ああ、それもそうですわね。
Oops, it looked like I called her at a bad time.
レナが電話した時はお部屋の片付け中だったんだよ。でも駆けつけてくれたんだよね。まあ非常時だから仕方ありませんわ。それに甘いものをいっぱいいっぱい食べさせてもらいましたですから、とても喜んでいますよ。
今日はありがとな。急に呼び出しちゃって。
シオンによろしくとお伝えなのです。
Are you not even gonna talk to her?
レナさんはどうぞごゆっくり。そうするね。じゃあね。
Rika and Satoko, in a good mood, horse around with each other as they left. And they left. Only Rena remains. But yeah, that was very, very chaotic though. A lot of stuff happening. While Rena and I were having a discussion about dessert that we just ate, Shion arrived with some coffee.
あら、ちっちゃい二人は帰っちゃいましたか？
Hearing them call the little ones was so strange, I inadvertently burst out laughing.
なんか片付けの途中だったとかで帰っちゃったよ。
Shion had brought enough coffee for 4 people.
先輩に話を聞きました。なんだか私のためにいろいろご迷惑をかけてしまったみたいで。
全然迷惑じゃないよ。他ならぬしーちゃんのピンチだしね。
Shi-chan.
いいよね、しーちゃんで。みーちゃんとお揃いでかいいかなって。
あ、まあどうぞご自由に。
Shion seemed a bit hesitant when Rena started talking to her. Rena is pretty sharp about things, so Shion was probably worried that Rena would find out she was Mion after talking like this. Shion said she'd have work soon and hurried off back to the kitchen, leaving behind coffee just for the 2 of us.
レナにそっけなかった。慣れ慣れしい子だと思われちゃったかな。
照れてるだけだよ。
でも本当にそっくりだね。双子ってよりももう一人のみーちゃんみたいな感じ。
外見は似てるけど雰囲気っていうか中身は全然違うだろ。そういう双子も面白いと思うけどな。
ケイチ君はそう思う？中身もそっくりだと思うよ。
It somehow became silent. Rena was just staring at the pattern the milk made on the surface of her coffee without saying a word. For somebody like me who could never stop talking, it was a rather uncomfortable moment. Rena's off-put mannerism seemed to imply I said something I shouldn't have. That unpleasantness carried on for a little while.
レナさ、今日言ってたろ。ミオンが傷つけられたなんて話。
Oh yeah, is she gonna say it now?
そんな話したかな？
Yes, you did say something like that.
だからとぼけるなよ。確かに言ったよ。今日の学校からの帰り道で。
Rena answered by laughing while continuing to play dumb, questioning if she said that. As thick-headed as I was, I had a faint realization. Rena wanted to say that I was the one who hurt Mion. But when? Yeah, but when though? Me?
もし仮にそういうことがあったとしても、それは俺には悪意はなかったんだよ。
But what did Keiichi say, by the way? I mean, nothing really, right? I continued the conversation, but left out the assumption that I had hurt Mion. Maybe it's a doll. Still from the first episode, right? It was still a doll. She was still crying about that. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything else though.
きっとそうだと思う。ケイチ君に悪気はなかったと思うな。
Rena replied, also leaving out the assumption that I had hurt Mion. But that confirmed it. I don't know how it happened, but it seemed that I had hurt Mion. And Rena was upset with me due to the fact I hadn't realized it.
誤解しないでほしいんだけど、別にレナは怒ってるわけじゃないよ。
Seeing right through what I was thinking, Rena said that as she smiled even more gently than usual.
ただなんていうのかな。難しいなって。
俺に落ち度があるならはっきりそうだと言ってくれないか。俺は自分でも呆れるほど鈍感なんだ。謝るべきことがあるなら少しでも早くそれに気づいて謝罪したいと思ってる。
別にケイチ君に落ち度なんかなかったと思うよ。考えようによってはずるいのはみーちゃんの方なのかもしれないし。
Okay?
ずるいのが女の子だって居直るのもまたずるい気がするし。
What Rena said was draped in mystery. Unfortunately, I had no idea what she meant. The only thing I got out of it was that I had said or done something to inadvertently hurt Mion.
頼むよレナ。ミオンは俺の最高の仲間の一人だ。遺恨を残してなんか付き合いたくない。だから教えてくれよ。俺は何を傷つけてしまったんだ。
ダメだよ。
My God.
こういうのは自分で気づかなきゃ。
Rena was smiling like she always did, but spoke bluntly. The fact that she had this strength of will surprised me for a moment.
それに気づけないからこうして頼んでるんだろ。
My tone had unintentionally become harsh. Rena was also surprised for a moment, but quickly returned to her flat
じゃ
demeanor.
あヒントだけならいいかな。
Okay, give me a hint.
特別なんだよ。
Yes.
すまん頼むちゃんと考えるから
Rena looked around the restaurant, searching for Shion. Shion was working enthusiastically, but without confidence as usual.
しーちゃん、髪の毛を上げて結んだらみーちゃんと見分けつかなくなるんだろうね。
Yes.
うんそうだな
じゃあさ、みーちゃんが髪をほどいたらやっぱりしーちゃんと見分けがつかなくなるのかな。
多分なでもそれとこれと何の関係があるんだよ
もしもだよ、双子の妹なんて話は嘘で、あれは妹のふりをしてるみーちゃんだったらどう思う？
Wait, what if that her being the younger twin was a lie? That she was just Michan pretending to be her sister? What would you think? Rena was sharper than her daily behavior belied. I was hesitant in verbally affirming that, but it was the right answer.
質問に質問で返すようで悪いけどさレナの言う通りミオンがシオンのふりをしていたとしてそれは何のためだよ
After maintaining the silence for a while, Rena glanced at the clock.
そこを考えてほしいな。ヒントにしては多すぎかも。はあ、
After thanking me for the dessert, Rena stood up from her seat.
ごめんね。頼まれてるお買い物があるからそろそろ帰るね。
Why is Mion angry that we're calling her she? I don't know. Never mind.
しーちゃんには挨拶もせずに先に帰っちゃってごめんって伝えておいてもらえるかな。
ああ伝えておく
ごめんね。
え
レナって怒りんぼなの。怒ってごめんね。ケイチくんだけが悪いわけでもないのに。
Rena was harsh in her apology, but I was the one who really should have apologized.
みーちゃんだってもうそんなに気にしてないことだと思うの。だからなかったことにして忘れちゃってもいいと思うんだけど。でもね、同じ女の子としてはケイチくんに自分で気づいて自分で謝りに来てほしいなって夢を見ちゃうの。
Switching to cute mode, only at the end she disappeared in the direction of the register. While I was staring into space, somebody suddenly tapped me on the shoulder. You're still
お待たせし
here?
ました。
I mean, Keiichi's still here. It's dark now.
やっと終わりました。
It was Shion who had changed into her street clothes. She flashed a smile while greeting
今
me.
日は本当にありがとなどれもすごい美味しかったみんなも喜んでたよ
いえいえ、そんな。でも喜んでもらえて嬉しかったです。あれ、さっきの女の人も帰っちゃったんですか？
買い物があるって言って帰ったよ先に帰って申し訳ないって伝えておいてくれって
そうですか。じゃあ私たちも表に行きません？たとえオフでもバイト先は緊張しちゃいますから。
We ended up strolling around without any destination in particular. I'd been sitting the entire time, so I was in need of a breath of fresh air. Okay. So yeah, let's end our episode there for the day. It's been a very, very long episode already. But yeah, it was pretty fun because they had, all of them basically. It was Keiichi, or let's say the club members, right? Against the otakus. But yeah, what was Rena talking about, by the way? I couldn't understand it. Is it because Keiichi was calling Mion or Shion? Or maybe he is acknowledging Shion more? Mion is jealous? I don't know, man. I couldn't understand. Or maybe it's because of the doll, right? From the beginning? But yeah, it's been a couple of days already, right? So it's probably not that. But let's see. But then again, it's gonna be weird though if Mion is just really, if Shion is just really Mion, right? she's getting jealous of herself, her other persona, I suppose. But yes, we will have to see. But yeah, Rena was very secretive, right? Very, very secretive today. But I don't know, but normal. I mean, but normal. Honestly, it's nice seeing the characters like this. And what part is this? I think this is part 7 now, right? Like in part 7, or was it part 8 when we started to shift to a much more serious tone in the first chapter, right? I think it was part 8 or part 7. And yeah, I guess we're like a couple episodes, then we're gonna be shifting to a much serious tone. I feel it now because yeah, it's pretty much as the first one, as the first chapter, right? So I guess we're gonna end this kind of happy slice of life fun with the characters soon, right? So yeah, I enjoyed it, but we'll have to see first what's gonna happen in the next episode. So anyways, we're gonna continue this and do more of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2 Watanagashi in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.